Hi, on this video I'm going to show you how to create a Facebook bot using Watson conversation. So we're going to go over the mechanics at least to get something working locally in your laptop, but using Watson services, Watson conversation, and connecting to a Facebook app through a bot. So first step is let's set up Watson conversation. So you can log into Bluemix, you can get a free account for 30 days, and after that you can still get some free tiers for most of the services. So to get started, go ahead to the catalog and search for conversation, and then click on Watson conversation, and we'll create an instance for this service. We have a different plans for this demo. I'm going to show the free plan. Click create. And this will take you to the instance for WhatsApp conversation. In this case, name it conversation-s6. If you go ahead and launch the tool, this will take us to our workspace for Watson conversation associated to my Bluemix account. For this demo, the easiest way to get started on understanding what are the capabilities of Watson conversation is to use the sample cache car dashboard. It's pretty neat. It has a lot of examples inside that you can start evaluating what are the type of things you can do. So go ahead and click on it. As you can see, it created an instance of this app for you to start evaluating it. It has intents, it has entities, it also has dialogues. So things that basically you'll be interacting with a car, which is a bot in this case, and you'll be telling things like that you want to go eat, or turn on the lights, or turn off the lights, or start playing music, and you can see all the type of things like turn off something, turn on something. What are the things that you can turn on and off? What are the type of music you want to listen? Classical, jazz, pop. Um, so you can have a dialogue with this bot, so it will continue with the next sentence and things like that. For example, turn down, or turn off something will give you that ability. So to give it a try, this is pretty cool. You can actually do it from here. If you click in this bubble, you can start interacting with the car. Things like you can get started like saying hi. I will tell you I'm doing good. Type help. You can say help, and then it's saying that it's trying to turn things on or off in the car, dashboard, play music, and such. So you can say that I don't know, like um, turn on, and then it would ask you what are the things that you can turn on. To me, to turn on something, you can say turn on the wipers. So turn on the wipers, and the state of now the wipers are on. You can also say play some music or something related to that, and it will understand that what you're trying to say. So sure thing, it's just with genre. We would prefer jazz is my personal. I will say I think I saw pop. I said pop. So now it's putting pop. So let's say that we want to have this same interaction. You have an app that in mind that you want to do. Maybe you want to do it for an assistant for insurance or customer service and things like that, and you want to make this conversation app available to some of the social channels. Like in this case, I'll use Facebook as an example. Someone was asking me how to do that, so I'll show that. Um, so some important information that you can see is it will be here. This is the deploy tab. So we'll give you kind of the information variables so you can connect to this service from an external service. So in this case, it'll be your workspace ID, the URL, which has the workspace ID, special password, username, and such. You can deploy in this case with different type of frameworks. I'm going to use BotKit. It's the one that is popular and it already supports Facebook, so I'll give that a try. If you click here, it'll give you more information about it. It will take you to a package created by the Watson team to integrate with BotKit. It has examples, so we'll be looking at in the examples and then multibot, and there's one for Facebook. So we'll go over these steps to configure this, and basically there's a section on how to configure Facebook. So the next step will be to download this repository. You can download as a zip file, or you can just clone it. I usually like to clone it. So do git clone that repository, change directory, and then like I said, we are interested in the examples, multi-bot. There's a Facebook example in here. If I open this in my text editor, I'll see the instructions in the README. So for example, on the preview. First step is to run npm install. I can do it from the terminal, or I can just run the terminal from here. Let me run the terminal from here. And then first thing is there's a package.json in this directory. I will install a few dependencies. In this case, BotKit is one of them. So if you go ahead and run npm install, you will run npm install and install the dependencies. Just take a few minutes. Then the next thing it says to edit the env a file, so we can put we will put our credentials in there for Facebook and Watson. I'll put the Watson ones first, and then we'll set up Facebook to get those for Facebook. So for Watson, we'll go ahead and I need that username, that password, and that workspace ID. So I go ahead, if I go to my Watson, it says username, put my username in here, the password, this one. That's okay. If you see this information, I'll delete it. I'll delete it later. Password, save that, and then my workspace ID, which is the identifier. So my workspace ID is here. I'll save that information and put it in the file. Next, this environment file is out of the box configured for Slack, but we're not using Slack, we're using Facebook. So uncomment these three variables, and at the bottom, go ahead and comment out use Slack, and let me just put use Facebook equals true. And what we need for Facebook is an access token, verification token, and an app secret. So let's go and head up to Facebook developer. So it's developer.facebook.com. I already created one. I'm going to create a new one so you can see the process. So in this case, workload test one, I guess I create that one, maybe like that. And then this one last time was kind of difficult to do. So 3 x 4 g e capital Y. See if it works. Yeah, it works from the first time. So one value that I need is the app secret for my app. Grab that value and I put it in the file. These are configuration files, but that's what I'm doing. So in your real application, you pass them as environment variables, or you use Plumix, you pass them as environment variables, CCAP, VCAP environment variables. So in this case, put that there. And then I need an access token. Basically, I need to add 2 products. If I'm following the instructions in here, this is what I'm doing here. I'm basically creating a Facebook app, and then I need to add 2 products, Messenger and Webhook. when setting up Messenger, make sure you have subscribed your page with your app, otherwise your app won't send back responses to your page. This step is also important because Facebook will provide you with a Facebook access token. Your bot will need to communicate via Messenger. So let's get that from the web page. So in this case, I'm going to add a product. It will be Messenger. Let's get Messenger in. And then I need to associate it, need to get, in this case, I need a page. Going to create a page. There's other, let's say that is a local business place, or let's say community. So we use car bot 2, start that. Already had a card bot, so that's why I'm creating a new page. See if that takes us to the new page. So this is the new page. This is where I'll be sending, people will be sending messages, and then this is where I'm going to implement the card bot. But in your case, it will be your assistant for your business or your application. Go back. I think it should show up here. Let me refresh. So you can select, yeah, cardbot 2. Say continue. Associate information, and I need that text. So that's the Facebook access token. So if I go to my environment variables and I replace this one with that value, that'll be set up there. Now I need a verification token. So this is a text outcome of just a string that I basically I know that they can verify that it's me that they're talking to when I add the webhook. So let's set up the webhook, which I remember is messages, and then messages post back. This is where our webhook will live. So if you are deploying this, like let's say Bluemix as a crowdfunding app, or you're deploying this as a serverless app in OpenWhisk, this is the URL you'll be putting in. And then the verification token is the token that Facebook echo back to your app as far as your callback URL verification. So this is the string. So you can put anything. So put right anything that you can come up, but Carlos, right? You can put that in there, and then I'll put it here, and then I need a URL. So in this case, I'm going to. So at this point, we need to run the app. So start listening. So because Facebook will try to contact us. So we can go ahead and run the app by running nodeserver.js and then exposing that through local tunnel, which is a cool service. Also like similar to ngrok. I already installed local tunnel, so I already have the LT configuration. So in my case, you will need 2 terminals, one to run node and the other one to export that. So run node server.js, and that will start listening on localhost. And then if I create a new terminal, and I run local tunnel, for example, I can pass local tunnel. I like to pass a subdomain, so -s says Santana PR, and then -p for port, and that was 5,000, I think it was. Yeah, -p or -port, it's the same thing. I start that, and then now my Facebook webhook is live on this computer, but I'm just showing you how to do kind of a getting started in your local computer. Ideally, you'll be deploying this to Bluemix as a CF app, or like I said, a OpenWhisk exposed with the API gateway. So this is live right now, exposed, and then we go back to Facebook. Basically, this is what I need to give. Go to the other terminal so you can see. So this is the URL Facebook/receive. That's the webhook. But in our case, we are listening, exposing that through that URL. So the first thing that I need is that URL. So I'll go back to Facebook, put that, and this is something that you run only once, so you don't have to run it all the time. Once it's set up, Facebook will remember that that's the URL you'll be calling to. So the other piece was this Facebook, which is the endpoint, API endpoint and the resource. So let me put this in here, put that. Last time I had problems with Facebook. It didn't connect, and then I tried a few times and it connects. So we'll give it a try. If not, I'll give it a. So let's give it a try. See what happens. Oh, it worked the first time. So in this case, it contacted the application. See, it went in. It says something connected. It subscribe, the challenge, and then anything but Carlos. So it reply echo back like, yeah, this is the secret we are sharing, that I put in my environment variables. So at this point, this application here, it doesn't have data persistence, so you would need to connect to something like Redis or ideally Cloudant, which is NoSQL, through the bot framework or your own library. But for demo purposes, this is good. At this point, both things are connected. Facebook is configured, and this is the app. We go back to the app. Now you can start modifying the Watson Conversation app, maybe adding some dialogues and entities based on your application and removing some of these cars. Or if you want to start from a very clean workspace, you can do that also. And then another thing to point out is that you can export this to a JSON file, save it in source control or in Git or something like that, and then or share with another developer in your company, and they can import it, and they can work together on this. Or through Bluemix, you can add them to the same organization, and they will have their own namespace, and they can access this application. So different ways of working on. But let's give it a try, which is the fun part. If we go to the web page, you saw that I associated the bot, the messenger, and the webhook with this web page. So now people that visit the web page or through Messenger, they will be able to talk to me. Take into account that right now it's a test app, so only the developer account and the accounts that I clear can talk to the app. Once you publish the app, Facebook app to officially to be a Facebook app, so they can verify it and all that. It's very simple. Then anyone in the world can access the web page and talk to your bot. So in this case, I'll click messages and let's type hello to see what Watson will respond back. So if I type hello, which I can zoom in here, you guys can see, say hello, see what responds back. Let's check out our app. Oh, I need to associate the webhook. The webhook is valid. Just need to select the webhook with what car we're about to. So let me subscribe that. Now I subscribe. So let's go back to here. I'll type hello again, or just hi. Let's see what comes back. Yep. There was a sound. I don't know if you guys. I'm not recording the computer sound, but so now actually we're talking to our carbot. It's this campo, right? So I can say turn on the lights, right? And it will turn on the lights. I will turn on the lights for you. Take an assistance. If I say play music, please. Just ask me like what type of music do I want, or I can just say play. I think I said classic. Classic is one of the supported. Oh, I didn't recognize that. So let's go back to Watson. And we can see to start interacting. So you see the flow. You can start interacting with the bot and then try to train it. Or what are the options? So if we go to entities, I think I saw here genre. Well, I typed classic, it's classical. So I could put jazz, I could put rock, right? And then the different synonymous, right? So I can put um, punk, right? So I can put something like punk. And it would understand that I'm actually referring to the entity. So you put synonymous for the entity. So I can say play some rock for you. So it's playing some rock. Um, I think that's it. I think that's what I wanted to show. We created a Facebook messenger bot that people can talk to it. In this case, you can apply it to something like insurance or health or some type of service or assistance that you have that you want people wants information, they want information in general information, they can have information specific to the customer. And what's a conversation is the workspace where you start creating those intents so you can recognize what is the intent of the conversation, then what are the type of nouns or objects basically that you want, and then dialogues of what are the process that you want to allow people to do for the different nodes. Um, that's it. I think that's what I wanted to show. So thank you for watching.